Ah, yes, guys, the Gachiakuta situation. They have become kind of the new My Hero Academia fandom, and it has been infested by people that you wouldn't want to have around. Also, please consider liking and subscribing. I appreciate your support. Anyways, Twitter freaks crash out over Japanese author rejects Western agenda involving her own character. Not only that, she apparently also rejected the idea that she is non-binary that people were saying. On Instagram, too. It is very interesting to see how supposed, right, fans, right, the tourists, let's not deny that, they're tourists or malicious individuals who know it better than the own author. We had that same issue with My Hero Academia, when people were essentially setting death threats to the mangaka of My Hero Academia after he drew a character a little too light. We also have noticed, thanks to My Hero Academia, that apparently a character's sexuality is supposedly very important, to the point where adult grown-ass women will break out in tears if two men do not kiss, or two boys do not kiss. It's very interesting. Same, by the way, like, if I had to put right now the most mentally ill fan bases, that'd probably be, like, between, like, Stranger Things and My Hero Academia. Yeah, I'm shitting My Hero Academia a lot, at least the community, because that part is horrible of that entire fandom, right? At least the shippers, regardless. The Gachiakuta community is getting very close, very, very close. And to be honest, I hate it. I hate it. We should straight up just like gatekeep all of it. It's just horrible. We'll go in. I'm curious what they did now again. I'm curious because, like, how do you? It's like there's literal people, right, on TikTok that I have seen, right? At least somebody posted TikTok comments at one point, especially regarding to My Hero Academia, where it was like the our author is acting like he knows it all. I'm like, he's the author. What are you on about? I feel like here it's the same case, right? It's people saying something that the author didn't even say. There's a ref video, by the way. We'll go in. I'm curious.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're here. So there's always been
I'm watched Gachiakuta yet. I just recently finished Masamune-kun's Revenge, right? That one's done now. I'm working through it, but I'm currently my romance arc.
this intensifying narrative over the past couple of years where a lot of people on places like Twitter or Blue Sky are trying to not only create their own headcanons of characters from anime, video games, what
It's not a headcanon, it's a fetish.
have you, but they also want to make it so their own headcanon is the truth. Where they're going to say, if you disagree with my headcanon, you are.
And it's just not Blue Sky. This is not. It doesn't even origin on Blue Sky. Blue Sky does not have the reach and popularity to create things like this. It is TikTok. It is specifically TikTok. TikTok does it for My Hero Academia. It does it for Gachiakuta. It also does it for Bleach for specific characters. Even though it's because people like to misunderstand characters.
Wrong and you're all kinds of bad things. In fact, it's gotten so bad, we've had situations where people create headcanons about a character and tell the creator of the character they're wrong about their own creation. And that's exactly what we're going to see once again in today's video. So we have this series called Gachiakuta, and its author Kei Urana. Okay, and recently we had this post that's causing a lot of controversy where, in quotes, we see they're saying things like Tamsi is transgender. I don't think that's the case at all, referring to a character from the series. Now, of course...
Yeah, they did also try to, use the community note and say, like, nah-uh.
A lot of people were celebrating a creator, telling people, hey, I know what my own character is, okay? Stop forcing your headcanons. You can have your own personal headcanon, but stop going out there and telling the creator of the character what they should think. And we're seeing moments like this, people saying they're about to start pulling this, and people referring to Oda, and people saying don't take him as a source with the whole Yamato.
Yeah, don't take the creator as the main source. Mental fucking illness. Mental illness. Mental illness. I'll put these people, by the way, in the same category. They say, oh, this fictional character wouldn't like you. No, a fictional character isn't real.
Debate, right? He said, this character is female. People said, no, this character's trans. And you, Oda, legendary mangaka, you are wrong about your own character and your own opinion of it.
Yamato is a woman LARPing as a man. Yamato is a woman LARPing as a man. She's role-playing, so to speak. She is role-playing. If you want to break it down to the most lowest definition of what she's doing, she's role-playing. Right? Just because I'm role-playing, for example, when kids play, right? And they role-play, and some girls role-play as a boy. They're all trans. Right? They just role-play. Right? It's not that deep. It isn't.
But that's exactly what we got again today. People trying their best to tell the creator of Gachiakuta she's acting like she's the author and knows stuff.
Island. Just put them on an island. Most of them are. Just put them on an island. Most of them won't have children anyways. They just get rid of each other. They wouldn't even reproduce.
You know, these days I would hope this is a troll. I don't know. But that's just the way things are. In fact, people are trying really hard in the proposed notes, which is a gold mine, a hidden gold mine in many cases, because yeah, you're seeing kind of the thought process. This is not live yet, but you see how hard people are trying to defend the situation or defend their own agenda. And this person wrote all of this evidence to say this whole thread is out of context. And then they provide the context that just lines up with what the post was summarizing. So what was the context? So the creator of this series is on Twitter, and you can see they're Japanese, but someone created a impersonation of her account saying that character is trans and no one will believe you, ha ha ha. So they're trying to impersonate the creator with the screenshot. This is
shoot them. All of them. I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. Usually I'm not advocating for violence, but I'm really close. What is this? What is this? They're creating they're creating their own truths out here. It's crazy.
Is not what the
bro out here playing Sentinel. The truth is what I make it.
Creator said. But the creator would respond saying close but not quite. I don't use the poop emoji after laughing, making a joke response to this impersonation. Now, unfortunately, people took this as confirmation that this character is trans, and they're running with it in the comment section. But eventually, she would respond saying, they're saying stuff like, Tammuz is transgender, but I don't think that's the case. So now they're saying, no, that's not the case, and as we'll find out, it was a joke, right? A joke response to someone impersonating them. And they'll go further saying, don't impersonate me, you hear? Watch out for fake screenshots. Also, people are saying it's the real Yura because it's got the poop emoji attached. Identifying by poop is slowly catching on. I'll let it slide this time because I thought it was a bit funny. Now, returning to the main thread in this video here, people were very
At least she's got humor. I would have crashed out, not gonna lie.
Very upset in the quotes. I think there's a great dichotomy on this where you look at the replies who are saying good on you for correcting the record and not allowing people to run with their headcanon. Then a lot of the quotes are angry that they did this, and they're angry about their series now being infested with all these awful, terrible people. And you can see examples. F. It was a joke. Now effing transphobes and lolly conservatives are
lolly conservatives. I find that funny because your SA character is literally dressed skimpy sexually. I find that, again, you can use that. See, you can use that against them, right? Because a lot of these guys are also against like sexualization. But, you know, just saying.
misgendering them and trying to say fight back against woke. This is the worst. I don't really know how any of these things were relevant, but they're trying. They're putting as many buzzwords in as possible. Here's another one saying, all of the people celebrating in the replies,
transphobic? I prefer normal.
Don't know the series is super ultra mega woke. Oh my goodness. I don't really understand why the actual series itself and its content really matters that much. Okay, it can be mega woke. That's not why people are cheering this on. They're cheering it on because someone actually said, no, your headcanon's not real. And you're not going to like force that opinion onto me, the character's creator. That's why people are saying something positive.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's woke or not, or if it's like I don't know, whatever the reason might be. It's about that a creator doesn't let fans, quote unquote fans, take control of their work, right? We've seen that a lot with other media where like the fans were so obnoxious, so aggressive that either the creator quit entirely or they were influencing the creator and implementing things that the creator didn't even want to implement. And I'm glad to see that this seems to have failed here.
About this. They're not saying, wow, this is the goated series. I'm going to go watch this right now. I'm going to go read the manga right now. No, I don't think that's really what's going on here, but people are trying to pretend like that's what's going on here, saying comments being transphobic when the author themselves goes by they, them, and woke as F. In fact, we'll see a lot of comments like what we just saw, not about just the character, but the author themselves. Okay? This person says...
Yeah, by the way, this person corrected their response in the replies, but that person is still incredibly retarded. It's just crazy.
These guys celebrating don't know Kei Urana themselves is non-binary, and the series is very queer. Again, what the series is itself is not really relevant to the discussion, but this would get 30...
It would get community to no, she's not. It's also like, can these people comprehend that you can be gay, lesbian, whatever, and not be as retarded, like not be retarded, not be a mentally ill radical, right? They do understand this, right? That you can even be conservative, right? They do understand this. I generally don't get these people's obsession with Japan and anime. You do know that Japan is very, very, fairly conservative. You know that, right? The leader of Japan is a much more, like, very much conservative woman. So you're supporting a conservative economy by consuming anime. Did you know that? Isn't that crazy?
6,000 likes. 36,000 people just took this claim about the author's identity as a fact. And you can see the note. Thank goodness for the note system. It simply says, no, she's not, with this screenshot from a recent Instagram post translated from Japanese to English saying, Internet, Urana is non-binary. Me? Really? Basically saying, you're telling me how I identify. Like, this is news to me, is basically what they're saying. And this is the pretty...
Imagine not only telling somebody what the creation is, right? Imagine also telling somebody what they identify as, or what they are, right? Because if you can do that, right, then I can do that in reverse, which means I can use your actual identity. Like what you actually are. But that would be wrong and bad, right? I'd be a bad guy doing that. Suddenly, when they do it, it's not. Like, the people who are, like, angry about, like, misgendering or assuming somebody's identity and then, like, what they identify as, but then them doing it themselves. Very funny. Very ironic.
Twisted part, okay? It's bad enough when you're telling a creator, an author, what the identity of their own characters are. It's even more deranged when you start telling the author what their gender identity is. That's when you're getting into crazy territory, even crazier territory. Like, this is not a fictional character. This is a real person.
The final form of this, by the way, is shipping real human beings. IRL.
Like, can we just sit here for a second and understand how deranged that is to tell someone how they should identify? It's crazy. Absolutely crazy stuff. And this would continue. People saying, guys, K is non-binary. They are not transphobic. They just saying Tamsi isn't trans. This is not a Yamato situation. You freaks, get your weird cis ideals away from our manga. Well, that seems a bit insensitive right there. A bit
I'm gonna watch it just on purpose to see how woke it actually is. Just to see for myself. You're still like, they're treating it like it's the second coming of Marx, it seems.
discriminatory. Wow. But anyways, you can see, again, claiming the author's non-binary with no proof to back that up. And then they also say it's not a Yamato situation. It surely is.
It's the exact same situation. It's literally the same. Author says character is female. People say no you. People saying no, they're actually trans. You don't know what you're talking about. You're the author. Your opinion doesn't matter.
It's very, very similar where people are telling the author, I know better than you. But here's another one saying grifters are about to invade because of this. I don't really think grifters, aka the people you don't like, are going to invade because of this. If they don't really like...
Well, you're still a grifter to them because they don't like you. So yeah, I'm going to invade.
The sort of themes of this series, they're not going to stick around. But we'll see another comment like that saying, grifters, get the F out. These are the people who, by the way, would say gatekeeping is bad. But anyways, they continue on saying, yes, it was...
Gatekeeping is great and healthy for any community. Why would you let everyone in? You don't let everyone into a club. You don't let anybody into not just anybody into a hobby. Gatekeep. Gatekeep like your favorite hobby. Depends on it.
was a bad, inappropriate joke. Please stop impersonations. It's genuinely disrespectful and not funny. But grifters, please get the F away. Or what? Again, grifters meaning the people you don't like. What are you going to do to keep them out? Are you going to...
What are you going to do about that, huh? Like, what are you going to do about that? What are you going to do about that? Tweet? I don't care, bro.
Smash on your keyboard and whine? Probably. Here's another one saying, I just know that this tweet was made with the intent to spread bigotry within the Gachiakuta fandom. I just can't prove it yet. Well, do you even have to try? This is Twitter. People just accept this at face value. This person says, but where does this fixation on wanting to know the sexuality of fictional characters come from? Tourists.
Tourism and mental illness. Because anything is nowadays about what you identify as. Anything. Your own identity has become the most, for a lot of people, the most important thing. So important that criticizing, right? It's more so their own ideology that has become their identity, but criticizing their ideology becomes a personal attack. So if you say, yo, this character isn't trans, that goes against their ideology, therefore it is a personal attack. That's why these people react the way they do. It's a fixation, yes. It's a weird one at that.
COVID and people being terminally online and very mentally unwell, where they need a fictional character to represent their ideals or to have characteristics they can relate to. They have to have that. It's that.
Lucky to be a man. I'm gonna say this. Lucky to be a regular man. You know why? Whether you're black, white, Mexican, Asian, Nordic, whatever, Anglo-Saxon, if you we all identify with Goku. We all identify with Asta. We all identify with Naruto. I am very happy that is the case, because I would never want to be like these people.
That important to their very broken existence. But here's one more. Someone going off and saying, basically, the author should be shamed now because they have created a space for transphobia instead of just keeping her opinion to herself.
Wow. You know what this reminds me of? Will Byers and him coming out and him not ending up with Mike in Stranger Things. Same reaction. Same thing. It's homophobic that they didn't end up together. It was queer baiting. Holy fuck, these people are so miserable.
And that they're not self-aware. Interesting. So you can't even correct the record anymore if people are going to make claims about you and your character that are not true. That makes you making a space for transphobia. Yeah, these people are not self-aware. But anyways, that's the situation. A lot of people talking about this. As always, share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys...
I'm going to simplify this. Mental illness, that's all there is to it. These people are mentally unwell. Don't listen to them. I'm happy that Kate Rana did absolutely stand her ground and say, yo, do not make these assumptions about my character. This is my character. I know best about that character. They're not trans. Problem solved. I think this is very good. Never ever, if you create something, never ever let other people pressure you to change what your creation is so it fits their beliefs. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, thank you for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.